This is the scariest story you've ever heard. Sitting down comfortably.
I can only guess where I got this habit of walking around abandoned buildings alone. I'm just tired of people and I want to be alone. Think about what's going on around my life. I'm just tired of people and I want to be alone. Think about what's going on around my life. Surprisingly, the echo of my footsteps that echoed from the walls only helped me to think and reflect on what was happening around. The time of visiting abandoned houses became not important to me at all. I could easily come here during the day, and late in the evening or already at night. In general, as soon as I get tired of everything that's going on around, I go right away. I don't believe in mysticism. And there have never been maniacs in our town, and there cannot be. Surprisingly, the police worked quickly and clearly, hammering into people's minds that hooliganism was not good, so I went there without fear. My dream was to visit absolutely every such house that was left without owners. Fortunately, there were enough of them, and I will have enough for a long time before I realize my little dream. Going to a new house, as always, I was thinking about my own, not paying attention to the people passing by me. It had been getting dark on the street for a long time and the street lights were turned on. And to my surprise, there were also a lot of working lights around this house, which worked completely out of place. In my opinion, no one has been going to this house for a long time. That terrible story that happened only 15 years ago, forever discouraged people from coming here. The terrible and mysterious death of 5 families sowed mysticism in the minds of people all over the city. Even those who remained alive left this house forever, without even trying to sell their apartments. They just took their things and left. Of course, I considered them idiots, since selling an apartment could always bring them a good amount of money. And I don't believe in mysticism. It's just some kind of poisoning, that's all. But on the other hand, this house has become for me a kind of testing ground for solitude with my thoughts, which I was glad of. When I entered the house, I immediately smelled damp and mildew. I've liked this smell since I was a child. Wandering slowly through the apartments, I hope to find some valuable thing left by the owners. They don't need these things anymore, and they forgot about this stuff a long time ago. But personally, I can earn extra money by selling rarities or jewelry. Why not? And a walk, and a small income. While I wandered from apartment to apartment, nothing came across, but the calm passed. And when I passed the last apartment in this house, I decided to stay in it to rest. When I sat down on the windowsill, I heard someone's footsteps from the corridor. For a moment I was overcome with fear, but I quickly calmed down when I saw a police car below. "Police, I'm here. Don't be scared and don't be shy, I'm just walking," I exclaimed. The footsteps began to rapidly approach me, and soon the figure of a man appeared in the doorway. She stood there as if waiting for something from me. I immediately realized that the policeman was just waiting for my explanation of what I was doing here. Yes, our city does not sleep and watches over everyone. Probably, one of the passers-by said that I was walking towards this house. "I'm sorry, but it's just my hobby, walking through abandoned buildings. It calms me down," I said. "Calm down, I'm not a cop," he replied. "And who?" I was surprised a lot. "I held back many years ago until I died," he replied in a calm tone. "Yeah, of course," I replied with a bit of sarcasm and skepticism. "I saw your car, comrade policeman." "What kind of car?" He grinned. "And he's standing by the window," I answered and looked out the window. And before my eyes, the car began to disappear into thin air. I looked sharply at that silhouette and, pointing the flashlight at him, turned it on. And in the light of the lantern, the silhouette disappeared. And when the lantern went out again, the silhouette was in the same place. I turned the flashlight on and off like that again, not believing my eyes. Fear and horror pierced me. I didn't know what to do, and I thought about jumping out the window, but I didn't want to die from it. "Please don't be afraid and don't jump. I just came to talk and mostly tell you about what happened here many years ago," this ghost replied, and after waiting for a minute, he went deep into the room and continued talking. "We were sleeping peacefully when something terrible came to us. It was a clot of some kind of matter. It resembled condensed milk in consistency, but only black. I haven't seen anything before. It flew around us as if it had a mind and was studying us. Then it went berserk and started flying into us through the nostrils, killing everyone and everyone. It was very scary, but I must admit that it didn't hurt at all, it was rather pleasant. This clot took 3 minutes to kill everyone in 5 families. Alas, my family and I also died. I do not know what to say, I replied quietly. Don't say anything, just go home and think about what I said, the ghost replied, pointing me to the exit. I left, and, as this ghost bequeathed to me, I thought for a long time about what he said. Since then, I have been deeply convinced that mysticism exists. But, unlike everyone else, I'm not afraid of her.